Hey divas! Guess what? Today you will be witnessing me creating this beautiful frontal. So stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so my very first step is to bleach the knots of my frontal. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. And this step is to help your scalp of your frontal to look a little more natural. And you can really use any powder bleach and developer of your choice. I'm choosing to use Wella powder and Paul Mitchell developer 30 volume, just because this is my personal preference. I really like how Wella does. It's not as harsh on my frontal, and so I decided to go with this. So it's really up to you what you use as far as bleach. I like to use a violet based bleach, and I like to use it because it actually tones while it's bleaching, so you don't have that brassy look with your hairs. And this way you can avoid toning the hairs after you bleach them, because this bleach actually tones for you because of the violet base. So I really didn't measure out how much bleach powder and developer I needed to bleach my knots. So as you can see, I really just kind of like played around with it and kept mixing it up until it was like a good consistency. And the consistency I like is like creamy, but not too creamy, still kind of heavy, so that way it won't bleed through the little lace holes and spread to the hair. So kind of like just play around with it and see what you get, and just, you know, thick enough to spread on the lace but not go through the lace. And once you're putting it on the lace, you kind of just want to tap and spread, but not really putting any force on the lace because you don't want it to go through once again. Once you have your entire lace covered, grab some aluminum foil and just kind of put it on top. The aluminum foil helps it to process sooner and evenly. So yeah, just grab some aluminum foil, put it up there, and then just kind of flip it over on top of the aluminum foil. And now you wait. So I let mine sit for about 25 minutes. Next time I do this process, I probably wouldn't let it sit as long because my lace started shedding afterwards and I was losing like a little more hair than what I expected. So yeah, I'll probably do it for like 15 minutes the next time I do it. You want to grab your mannequin head and grab your dome cap to get started on making your wig. In my other video of me making my wig, I put this step of how exactly to measure out your mannequin head and where to place your net or your cap to get started on making your wig. So I decided to skip that step in this video. I will put that video in my description box for those who want to see exactly how I did that. But pretty much as you see in the video, you're going to lay your frontal on the edge of your wig cap. Right where your edges will be on your wig cap is where you would lay the front of your frontal. And then you're going to pin it down and start sewing. So for the sewing process, you're going to make yourself 2 needles, and you're going to start sewing on one side. You're going to sew about halfway up the back of the frontal, and then you're going to start sewing on the other side. This is to keep the frontal from sliding and to make sure that you have a nice laid flat frontal. Now you're going to take your longest bundle. For me, it was my 24-inch, and you're going to start sewing from one end of the frontal to the other edge of the frontal. And I like to do the fold over method, so I didn't do any cutting of my bundles until I got to the very top of my wig when I needed to close it in. So you just kind of keep sewing back and forth until you're done. The whole process of me making this wig took me about 3 hours. You're done sewing all of the hair onto your wig. You're going to remove all of your pins and take your wig off of your mannequin head. And you're going to notice that you're going to have a little piece of fabric underneath your lace. Just go ahead and snip that piece of fabric off, and then you're going to attach a piece of elastic band from one edge of your frontal to the other edge of your frontal. Now this step is very important because this elastic band is going to help your frontal to lay down very flat and be very secure. Now, to measure out how much elastic you will actually need, you will take your elastic band and hold it at the back of one of your ears and stretch it around the back of your head to the other side of the back of your ear, and pull it very tight and secure around the back of your head, and then cut wherever the other ear meets. This will determine how much elastic you will need for your wig. Now, once you get done with all of that, take your wig and put it back on your mannequin head, and it's time to pluck your frontal. You're going to pluck the front of your frontal to make it look a little more natural, like your hairline. Guys, please take your time on this part, because I actually ended up plucking a bald spot into my lace and I had to cut it a little further back than what I wanted to. But if you notice, this little section right here is kind of bald. So take your time and just don't pluck too much hairs out. Okay, so I started plucking the hairs dry, and then I added a little bit of water just to speed up the process. So when you add the water to the lace and start plucking, you actually pull out more hairs with it wet than you would with it dry. So that's a little trick. After plucking my baby hairs and letting my wig dry, I like to add a little bit of pressed powder to the back of my lace just to help it to blend in with my skin and look more natural. So you pretty much just tap that into the back of your lace and spread it around. To try it on, and then you're going to cut the excess lace from around your hairs, and then you're going to smooth down your baby hairs, cut them, shape them however you want to. Put whatever glue, adhesive, tape, whatever you want to use on your scalp right in front of your hairs. I use Got To Be Glued and also Gorilla Gel, but you can use whatever you want to use. And that's pretty much it, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to subscribe and to comment whatever you want to see next. And thank you. Be blessed. Bye.